It is finally Friday. It's been a long week and I've been kind of sad. So I wanted to chat about like everything that's happened this week. A lot has happened. On Wednesday, we had the school shooting in Minneapolis, and I wanted to talk about, because I just keep thinking about what happens to our special needs disabled children during these things. So I wanted to chat about that. Also, about the announcement for next month that there's going to be a big announcement about the causes of autism. So, and what the administration is going to say and stuff. So, that it's a horror show. It's a horror show over here. So I wanted to talk about that. But as I wait for people to pop on, I wanted to just say I've been sad this week, thinking about all the stuff going on. Plus, my producer slash camerawoman passed away in December. We just hit 9 months, and just trying to think about what we're doing with the documentary because it's just me. And so I've been thinking about that, trying to figure things out. So I've been kind of sad about that, sad about her. So just trying to get things in. But I did want to say that I have not been sad about autism in our life. We are hitting a new season of life, but right now Henry's doing great. Henry's doing great. I mean, he's happy. He's had a great week. He loves, tell the story, he loves when we repeat. So he'll watch YouTube or his tablet, and he loves when we repeat what's going on the tablet. So the other day, and we've added buttons to his talker so that he can like tell us what he wants or put the whole saying in. And so the other day, he's been watching this Curious George that he loves. And it's a kind of a new one. I don't remember it, but they're at the farm in the country house, and Bill and George are, there's a pool that's kind of gross. So they're trying to push the pool over so they can empty out the water and then fill it out with clean water. And so Henry loves it. And in the scene, they go 1, 2, 3. And then they say, it's not working, it's not working. And so Henry will start with his talker saying 1, 2, and he wants us to repeat with him. And we want us to do it with him. So we go 1, 2, 3, and then he'll go to his talker and say, not working. And so we'll say, it's not working, it's not working. So it's pretty cute. We love it, love, love, love. So I love that he can interact with us that way. So it's pretty cool that he can do that. And he's doing so much better with his talker. So I love that he can have these conversations with us, and he wants to get involved with us, and he wants us to be involved with what he's watching. So he wants us to repeat what's saying. He has a whole bunch of TV shows that he loves, and so he wants us to watch with him and interact with him. So just wanted to tell that happy story before we get into some other things. So this week's been heavy with back to school. Most kids in Arizona, pretty much everyone in Arizona has been back to school for a month, at least 3 weeks to a month. Some, 5 weeks. So this week, a lot of kids have gone back to school. There was the shooting in Minneapolis on Wednesday, and it just got me. It's hard. And so we're kind of in this spot in the US where we have so many that it doesn't hit you as hard, but it hits me because every time I hear them, I think about what would happen to our disabled children during these things, because I know for a fact that Henry would not be able to stay still. Henry can be quiet because he doesn't make a lot of noise, but he does hum loud. But he does not understand to be quiet. He doesn't understand the danger. He doesn't understand what's going on. I don't think. I can't say that for certain. But I think he's not going to understand. I know that this school Henry goes to a small autism school here in Phoenix area. And I know that they have had to do shooter drills. I don't know exactly how the kids do on those. I should probably ask the school. But my question to anyone on here or anyone watching later, if you work with SPED kids, like in special ed, work with kids that are disabled, what happens in your drills? Are the kids able to be quiet? Do they understand? How many of these autistic kids understand, or any disabled kids understand what's going on and why they're having to be quiet? It just breaks my heart. And even like having the drills with like kindergartners and preschoolers, like this, I mean, obviously I'm in my mid to late 40s. We did not have this in the school, but I do remember I grew up in Toronto, Canada. I was born in the US, grew up in Canada, became a dual citizen. I have now lived in Arizona for 28 years. But in Canada, we only had one mass shooting, and that was, I still remember this to this day, and remember the date. And in Canada, we honor this date, December 6th, 1989. I still remember I was driving, my dad was driving, two of my sisters and I have 4 sisters. My oldest sister was in college at the time. 3 of us to school, and we heard over the radio that there was a engineering school in Montreal, and a man went in with I don't even know, I think it was just I don't know what kind of gun it was, went in, separated the men and the women, and shot all the women. And because he blamed the women for not getting into the school. So we still celebrate this. It's been 36 years. It'll be 36 years this year. And in Canada, they still celebrate it. I'm pretty sure they still do, but as like women, Violence Against Women Day and stuff, because he blamed all the women and shot them all. And I think majority of them died. I'm pretty sure all of them did. And there was like 14. I don't remember their names, but I will always remember that, because I was a 12-year-old girl, because it was after my birthday, so I was 12, thinking about that, like, he blamed someone like me. Anyways, so here in the US, there's been a lot. So I don't remember the dates. I do remember the date of Columbine, because that was kind of the first big one. I was in Arizona for Columbine in my apartment. My roommate and I watched it. So that was in April of 1999. I do remember that, but I don't remember. There's been so many. So I just wanted to just mention that, I'm not going to get into political stuff about it. I just want to have an open conversation. If you're watching this later, comment about what our disabled kids do. It's so hard. It's so hard to think about them trying to be safe, trying to be quiet, trying to be, if something like that happened. I remember reading a story not too long ago about in one of the school shootings, there was a disabled child, like an autistic child and stuff, that kind of got lost in the shuffle and stuff. But But that scares me. That scares me. Like what Henry, I don't know what Henry would do. I don't think he would be quiet. I don't think he would be. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that and get that out in the open because that's been heavy on my heart. I was sad about that. And then, of course, the other day, the president saying that autism is a horror show right now, and they're going to make a big announcement about what causes autism. And we've been there before. We've done this many times before. Myself, I'm only saying this as I am the director of Across the Spectrum. I do not know how all the other parents feel, but myself, vaccines do not cause autism. This is me as the director. Henry has had all his vaccines. He did not, he still regressed. He had no issues with vaccines, no issues whatsoever. That's my personal thing. I know that's taboo to say how you feel, but that's me. He still regressed. Henry was born with autism. That is exactly how I feel. He was born. I myself have ADHD. My husband has ADHD. We are a neurodiverse family. So it just really hits me hard when I hear that the administration saying it's a horror show and that we're all, yes, it has gone up. The rates have gone up because we know more. We know more about autism, and we can the kids that or adults that slid through on the lower support needs are now getting diagnosed. So this is what's going on. I don't know how. I mean, it's been studied for decades. I don't know how in 9 months they think that they're going to get the reason behind autism in 9 months. I don't think so. So it'll be interesting to see what they say. I'm pretty sure it's going to be vaccines that they're going to say. But yeah, and again, that's all very political and stuff. But my saying is it was not the vaccines that caused Henry's autism. He was born with it. And he's a beautiful boy. And yes, do we want him not to struggle as much? Of course we do. But we are doing the right things to get him on the right track. And we are giving him the tools so he can communicate. I would love to hear him say mama or say I love you with his own voice, but he says it with his talker. So he's doing great. I think he's doing wonderful. Yes, we have our struggles. Trust me, we are in puberty right now. So I show the happy boy. He does have his struggles. He has his meltdowns. Which I don't show, but we are, and he has a lot of needs. But he's doing great, and he's not a horror show. Our kids are not a horror show. What we really need, instead of all this research, is we need money for supports. We need money for the families. We need money for the kids. Instead, what does this administration decide to do? Cut Medicaid. Well, that Medicaid could go to the supports of the kids. So I don't know what they're going to do with saying they're not going to support, even if they do find what caused autism that they say, they're not going to do the supports that the kids need, because they've already shown that they're cutting Medicaid. Medicaid is what the disabled community is living off of. So a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff in my heart that I've been feeling. So I know it's a lot, but I've been thinking about it a lot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next month when they have the announcement. It's going to definitely, the autism community has already been fighting a lot back and forth. So this will definitely get more people active and chatting. Hopefully it can help us get together, but we really don't need to, as a community, be fighting against each other. We need to be supporting each other so that we can advocate to get the supports that the kids need, that the adults need. We need to be coming together as a community and not fighting between each other. So that's what I'm hoping can happen in September. But I don't know, because I don't think this administration is going to help us. I don't. So anyways, this weekend is Labor Day weekend. Does anybody have any plans for this weekend? Let me know. And I would love to, Henry and I will go live this weekend. I'm thinking Sunday. I think Sunday's been a good day for us to go live. So we'll go live on Sunday. You can ask Henry questions. I don't know the time yet. It all depends on when he wakes up and stuff like that. But he's now 13. He's a teenager, so he now sleeps in some mornings. Of course, on the weekends he wakes up early because he can sleep in, and on the weekdays we have to wake him up. Oh my gosh, and he's hard to wake up too. I never thought when he was younger that we'd ever be in a point where we would be waking Henry up, because he did not sleep. He did not sleep well at all. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about it, kind of get it out. I did a post on our Facebook page yesterday about feeling sad, and there's just a lot going on. I have ADHD. There's a lot going on in my mind all the time. I'm constantly like fighting things. Like I always laugh and tell people it's like I have it's my brain's like a computer and has like all these tabs open. And in fact, if you look at my computer, I always keep the tabs open. It drives my husband batty because my email, I have like a whole bunch of unread emails. That's just the way my brain is. And my husband is the total opposite. He is the like type A OCD, like he has to have everything shut, everything. Like it drives him bonkers to see my phone. Oh my gosh, it's funny, like opposites attract, because he's definitely type A OCD. I am type B, go with the flow, leave my phone anywhere. And I do not have OCD, and I live with two OCD boys, my husband and Henry. Oh my gosh. It can drive me. I'm always like, it's fine. Like Henry has to so if something I don't know if anyone else has this issue, like maybe it's you having OCD and are like this, or your child does. Henry has to put, if I place something new down somewhere, I have to make sure that that's the right spot, because for Henry, that is going to be the right spot. So if I put something down that's new for him, he will always have to have it down that way. So it's just funny because I'm always like, Henry, it's fine, put it down there. And no, it has to be in the right spot. And he'll like move it back and forth. And my brain is like, it's fine, you're taking too much time. It's perfect where it is. And he's like, nope, I remember it being here. So it has to be here. And this has to be here. And then he does the like step in and out of the door a few times. Sometimes he has to have doors closed. Sometimes they have to be open. It's just his OCD and anxiety. And the only time I have anxiety is when I travel, when I fly. I'm always like, and I think this is for a lot of people, but I'm always checking to make sure I have my passport's ID, anything I need. And I check, like, even though I know it's in my bag and I know what pocket it's in, I still check it like 5 times. I check it on the way to the airport. I check it on the way, you know, that's just me. So that's the only time anxiety when I'm traveling, like when I'm taking a flight or driving or going somewhere, I have anxiety. Once I'm in a place, I love to like just go with the flow. I don't usually have a plan. When I was younger, I used to travel a lot. And I used to just be like, okay, like when I did Europe with my sister, we had kind of a plan of where we were going. We bought the train packs. And so we just knew we had this amount of time and we traveled. We had certain times we bought train and stuff, but we decided once we got to a city that how long we would stay. And I remember we decided to stay longer in Berlin. This was in 2003, and we loved Berlin as a city, so we decided to stay longer. We only had planned for a couple days, and we ended up staying like 6 days in Berlin. So there's certain times that we were like, oh, we like this city. We heard the city wasn't gonna be our cup of tea, so we didn't do very long, but then we decide, oh, this is great. And that's the way I am. I like to go with the flow, and if I like a city, then I would stay longer. If we didn't, then we would pack up and go to another place. But Steve and Henry have to have a plan, and they really can only be away from home for like a week, maybe 2. So I think when Henry gets older, we'll travel because he's a good traveler, but maybe we'll just travel for like a week or 2 and go to different countries and then come back home. And then maybe like a few months later, we'll go travel again. One thing I would love to do is I would love to travel with him. He loves roller coasters, So I would love to travel the world to different places, amusement parks. And I think he would love it. I would love it because it would be different countries. And he would love it because it would be amusement parks. So I think that's great. Anyways, I've been rambling. My ADHD brain rambles. Thank you for being here, and I would love to know what you think about all the subjects that we talked about, and let me know where you're from, how you found us, and would love to get to know you better. All right, thanks for being here. Bye.